Welcome back. We are live from Oslo Business Forum, and we are lucky to have Professor Costas Markides from London Business School here with us today. Welcome to Simployer TV.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
You are here to talk to business leaders on preparing organizations for a journey of continuous transformation.
Yep.
Do you think most companies are prepared to live in a constant change?
I wouldn't be here if I thought that they are ready to do that. I think the real challenge in today's world is that how quickly change happens. I think most people are used to change in the sense that if every 10, 15, 20 years you ask them to change, they are willing to do it. But now in today's world, the problem is that we don't have the 10, 20 years. We have to get ready to change continuously.
But there are several changes in the workplace that we have to be considerate of. What are the main challenges that you face?
The biggest challenge, in my opinion, is the cultural change. Everybody talks about digital disruption and all the new technologies, and certainly that's important, no question about it. You have to think about what new technologies are coming into my industry and how should I change to either adopt them or respond to them. Another big change will be the disruptive business model change, whereby you see new competitors coming in with new business models and so on. Another change will be the employees, the millennials, and how do you manage the new kind of employee. Another change will be the customer change, the way they buy and so on. Lots of changes happening around them. But I think at the center of it all is preparing the organization in a cultural way to get ready and respond to whatever the outside change is. And that is the real challenge.
Yeah, because I was going to say there are so many outside changes as well, like sharing economy, people are less loyal, all these things that happen outside the workplace as well. How do you adapt to that?
Again, every company faces different challenges. You told, for example, about the new technologies. If I'm a bank, I worry a lot about blockchain and the effect that blockchain is going to have. But if I'm a pharmaceutical company, maybe that's not what I worry about. Maybe I worry about the fact that it's personalized medicine now that I need to worry about and things like that. So every company will face different external pressures, changes, and so on. You cannot advise people what they should do unless you know what is the disruption they are facing. But the one thing I will tell them is that they have to prepare their organizations through the behaviors of their people to be ready whatever the external change is going to be. I don't know what change is going to hit your company next year or 5 years from now, but you have to get ready to respond to it, whatever that change may be.
And how do you actually prepare to things that are so unknown? How do you get into that position of thinking like that?
It's difficult. I know it's difficult. The advice I give to people is imagine if you create an organization where your employees behave every day in ways that allows you to first identify when change is happening quickly and have the autonomy and freedom to respond to that change in an organized way. How do you prepare for the unknown changes that haven't come your way yet? Create a culture in the organization where every single employee behaves in certain ways every day without you, the manager or the leader, telling them. You create the culture that allows you to respond whatever happens. And I can get more specific if you want me to with that. It's a very generic answer, but I can get more specific.
But I think we can dig more into when you're faced with a challenge.
Yeah.
You can either view it as a threat or you can have it as an opportunity.
Yes.
And is that a mindset that people must adapt?
Yes, I tell you, there is a lot of academic evidence on this point actually, which is most people view this disruption as a threat. They say, oh my God, we need to respond, otherwise you're going to die. And many people have come now and said, no, don't look at it as a threat. You should look at it as an opportunity. It's an opportunity to grow. It's an opportunity to change the organization. Actually, the academic evidence shows that even people who look at it as an opportunity do not do well. The evidence is if you look at it as a threat, you do not do well. If you look at it as an opportunity, you do not do well. Who are the companies that seem to do well? Those that are able to see it both ways. In other words, it's a threat and an opportunity. And why is that? Because if we look at something as a threat only, It creates an urgency in the organization to do something, but it makes us very short-term oriented, very focused, very myopic. On the other hand, if you look at it only as an opportunity, it makes us think analytically, strategically, but it doesn't create the urgency. The trick is, can you position it to your people to say, guys, it's both a threat and an opportunity. If we don't respond, we will die, but if we do respond, we will be the best in the business. It's not an either or. You have to somehow frame it as both.
So that means that you have to, when you do your strategies, you have to have people who have those thoughts in mind at all times.
Ideally, yes. We call these kind of individuals ambidextrous. They are ambidextrous that they can do two things at the same time. The evidence is that most of us are not like that. Most of us, we think in a certain way. So instead of having individuals that are like that, maybe you should have a team of people. Some think this way, some think the other way, and you bring the two together.
Because this brings me over to silo thinking, which I know that you have many opinions on. And I think most businesses will recognize that silo thinking is happening, even though you're trying to move out of the silo thinking. What is the secret sauce to step out of it?
Silo thinking happens not because human beings like to think in silo thinking, it's because we create an environment around them that makes them silo thinking. For example, we put you in as manager in the marketing department in this subsidiary, and then we say, oh, by the way, think about the whole company, don't only think about your marketing department. Well, I'm already in that structure, in that organization, in that division. How can I think about the company? Or we give you incentives that say, if you maximize whatever sales in your division, then you get rewarded. And then we say, by the way, don't only think about your division, think about the company. So how do you get out of silo thinking? It's very simple in my mind. You create an environment around your people, and by that I mean a culture, structure, and incentives that encourages them to get out of their silo and connect with other people in the organization.
But it sounds like one of the things that I know that you're also into is visualization, which comes in here to make people realize that. Why is visualization so important in your opinion?
It's very, very important. Let me step back and say, first of all, increasingly what we see in today's world is that to motivate people, we have to go beyond rational argument, we have to win their hearts into anything. You see it, for example, increasingly with consumers, companies, the way they advertise their products or services. It's not about buy my product because it's superior to other products, but because of emotional benefits. Buy my product because it will make you feel good, it will make you feel like a good mother, a good father, or whatever. So increasingly, companies are trying to hit customers at the emotional level. The same is true with employees. You have to hit our employees at the emotional level. How do you hit them at an emotional level? There are many tactics. One is storytelling, but more important than storytelling is visualization. We know from psychology research that human beings are more likely to be touched emotionally by something they see than by something they hear about or read. More probability-wise, I'm not saying guaranteed, probability-wise, they are more likely to get emotionally inspired by something they see. So help them see it, visualize it for them, either through a little video or through stories or through picture or something. Help them visualize why you are asking them to do whatever you are asking them to do.
You are soon entering the stage here at Oslo Business Forum. If you're going to sum up the three major things that you want the audience to take with them after your speech, what's that going to be?
Number one, I'm going to talk a lot about agility. Agility, in my opinion, how do you prepare an organization for continuous change? You make it agile. Second, I'll say, what is this agile? Everybody talks about agile. What is it? And I will say that agility comes from certain behaviors that you want everybody in the company to engage in. Behaviors like questioning what they see and what they are doing. Behaviors like stepping out of their silos. Behavior like looking outside in the world and seeing what's happening and bringing it back in, and things like that. These are the behaviors that if everybody in your company engages in every day will make you agile and ready to transform on a continuous basis. The problem is, and this is my third and final point, is that you can tell people, hey guys, these are the behaviors I want from you, why don't you engage on them? They are not going to engage in them. For people to engage in any behaviors, we have to create the environment around them. It's the environment in a company that creates the behaviors. It's not by telling them. You have to create the environment. And I'll talk a little bit about how each one of us as individuals can create a supportive environment around our people to bring out the best behaviors out of them.
I'm looking forward to your speech. Thank you so much for joining us at Simployer TV.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh.